Hey everybody, it's Jason Malham with the Malham Agency in the third of three videos on the top three features you should be considering when you take on a health insurance policy. So just a quick review. The first one was network. What network does the policy operate on? Network is going to be something like Aetna, Cigna, United Health, Humana, and then it's going to be something even more specific. Is it United Health Choice? Is it United Health Choice Plus? You've got to know that network, and you've got to make sure that it is abundantly accepted in the county you're living in the area you're living in, or the places you're planning on traveling throughout the country. For more on that, see that video. The second feature was deductible, and that's a longer video for me because deductible is highly misunderstood. Low deductible does not necessarily mean you're going to save money on that policy. Again, check out that video. Very, very important one. And then today, the third feature to be considering, the third, in my opinion, of the three most important features is policy term max coverage. And I don't mean lifetime coverage, but I mean the term max coverage. How much will the policy cover? What is the top dollar amount? Is it $500,000, $1 million, $2 million, $5 million? How much will it cover in any given policy term? By term, I mean, is it a 6-month policy, 12-month policy? Is it a 15-month policy? And this is critical. To this day, the number one cause of bankruptcy in America is medical debt. You can check some earlier posts where I cite the sources for that information, and it's just been true for so long. Medical debt is the number one cause for bankruptcy in America. Now, the real shocker is that the majority of those people who declared bankruptcy over medical debt had health insurance, which means it's not just enough to just grab any health insurance policy. You've got to make sure you understand the features of the policy. And the number one feature that plays into the amount of medical debt you could incur in a catastrophic medical event is, what is the policy max coverage for any given term, for any given term of the policy, 6 month, 1 year, whatever that is. Now, just know before I give you a couple points about that, one thing to understand is this is not applied to any Affordable Care Act policy, whether you're on a marketplace plan, otherwise known as Obamacare, individually or through a group plan, through your employer. Those do not have policy max coverages. In other words, they're going to keep paying those benefits no matter how high the medical bills get. This will only apply to when you're on an individual policy that is not government sponsored. You're on a private or individual health coverage policy, okay? So a big point is to make sure you understand the difference between the lifetime coverage and term coverage, because I see this a lot. You'll hear people that say, well, I've got a $5 million, my policy covers up to $5 million of medical bills. Well, that's great, but make sure that's not the lifetime maximum. Because for most generally healthy people, I'm just going to tell you, the lifetime maximum is not going to come into play. What you need to know is how much will it cover in any one policy term? Because I've seen people who were on a policy that they were thrilled about, and they say, well, it covers up to $5 million. But then when I encourage them to check out the policy details and see how much will it cover in any one given policy term, they found out that it will only cover up to $150,000. Let me tell you, anymore, you can break a bone and your medical bills can reach $150,000. So if that's all the coverage you have, and now you've got something worse than that happens, and you're laid up in the hospital for 3 weeks, and you have to have a surgery and maybe a follow-up surgery, well, now your bills are going to be upper 6 figures or 7 figures, I kid you not, and you've only got a coverage up to $150,000, which means you're facing the other rest of the 6 figures out of your own pocket. So this is just a critical thing to be looking at and to understand about your policy. I recommend nothing less than $500,000. I certainly am more comfortable. Most of my clients are going to have, $1 million, $2 million of coverage in any given policy term. So check yours out. If you're on a policy that's super, super cheap and everybody's quoting higher than what you've got, that's fantastic, but make sure you know what the policy term max coverage is, because your policy may be super cheap, because they're not going to cover very much if you face a worst case scenario through accident or serious illness. I hope that helps. Obviously, always reach out to me if you have follow-up questions. This is Jason Malham with the Malham Agency.